More than a year has passed since Yeri left SM Entertainment to join a new agency, but until recently, the reasons behind her departure and the circumstances surrounding it remained unclear. Now, through recent interviews, she has opened up in detail about why she chose to leave, how the whole experience affected her, and even shared some insights about Red Velvet's upcoming comeback plans. Everything began on April 3rd when Yeri sent a heartfelt and mysterious message to her fans through Bubble. In it, she hinted that some official news involving her and the company was about to be shared, and she wanted to be the one to tell her fans first so it wouldn't catch them off guard. She promised that no matter what happened, her love and gratitude for her fans would stay the same. Her honesty deeply moved everyone, who thanked her for being so open. Yeri responded by saying she was stepping into this new chapter with courage and thanked everyone who had supported her throughout the years. Although she kept the message vague, fans quickly guessed what was coming. The very next day, on April 4th, SM confirmed that Yeri and Wendy had decided not to renew their contracts. The company also made it clear that while their solo careers would be handled by other agencies, they would still take part in Red Velvet's group activities. SM wrapped up the announcement by thanking fans for their ongoing support and encouraging them to continue standing by the members as they entered this new phase. Even though Yeri had spent over 10 years with SM, her decision to leave didn't come as a surprise to many. Fans knew she had faced a lot of struggles during her time there. The company never stepped up when she was criticized for deeply personal moments like crying at Jonghyun's funeral or simply for being herself. On top of that, SM didn't support her acting career, gave her very few lines in group songs, sometimes none at all, and she remained the only member without a solo album. Considering all she endured, it made sense that she decided to move on. Yeri had also publicly called out the company for mishandling and mismanaging her career, so when she chose not to renew her contract, many fans finally felt a sense of relief. Just 4 days after the announcement on April 8th, news surfaced that Yeri was in talks to sign an exclusive contract with Blitzway Entertainment, a company known for representing actors like Joo Ji-hoon, Jung Rye-won, Yin Gyo-jin, and Woo Do-won. Blitzway confirmed they had met with Yeri, and not long after, on May 1st, the company's CEO announced that Yeri had officially joined as an actress. They promised to fully support her as she builds a diverse and wide-ranging acting career. Since then, Yeri has taken on roles in the second season of Bitch and Rich and the film The Ghost Game, and she's also considering a part in the drama Insiders. However, recent interviews have revealed that much more was going on behind the scenes during Yeri's time at SM than anyone outside the company could have guessed, especially in the final days leading up to the end of her contract. Yeri recently appeared on an episode of Yeri's YouTube show Yeri's Club, where the conversation eventually turned to her agency change. Yeri pointed out that such a move was a huge turning point, and Yeri agreed, though she admitted the process wasn't as smooth as she first thought it would be. Yeri shared how, after leaving creative group ING, where she had spent 5 years, to join Sublime, she suddenly felt like she was completely on her own. Yeri related to that, saying that in the beginning, her personality made her brush it off and convince herself that everything would work out. But as the date to officially leave grew closer, the reality started to sink in. Her contract expiration happened to overlap with the end of her drama's filming, and during that period, she hadn't scheduled any meetings or prepared for what would come next. She admitted she should have handled those things earlier, but multitasking wasn't her strong suit. Once she realized the clock was ticking, she rushed to make arrangements, but the faster she moved, the more stressful it became. She said, "I was crying a lot while drinking maguli at that pub. I seriously broke down in tears. Like, what should I do now?" Yeri explained that because leaving was entirely her own decision, she went into it believing she could handle it without feeling overwhelmed. She thought staying optimistic would be enough to keep the stress away, but reality proved her wrong. One night, while at a pub, the weight of everything hit her, and she broke down, realizing she had completely misjudged how she would react once things got real. In a separate interview, Yeri compared leaving SM to moving out of her parents' home and starting fresh on her own, which she admitted was quite frightening. Despite the challenges, it appears she parted ways on friendly terms. She mentioned that some SM staff have even visited her at her new agency, and she remains close with many of them. So thankfully, during this entire experience, she wasn't alone, and that there were people she could turn to for support, and they helped her through it. In the end, she found herself in a good place with her new agency, and looking back, she feels things worked out better than she expected. In the Yeri's Club episode, Yeri and Yeri covered a wide range of topics, from her acting projects to memories from her early days in the industry. Yeri spoke about filming The Ghost Game, describing how challenging it was to work while covered in layers of fake blood under sweltering heat, with the stickiness making everything worse and even drawing in clouds of bugs. They also touched on the second season of her popular series Bitch and Rich, before taking a trip down memory lane to her trainee years. Yeri shared how she left middle school, took her GED, and saw the friends she made during that period as her real school friends, who are people she's still close with today. She remembered going through intense diets alongside other trainees and how they would sometimes eat food that senior artists at the company had ordered but left untouched. Looking back, she said the struggles they endured together naturally built strong bonds, making them feel more like family than just fellow trainees. Yeri continued sharing stories from her trainee years, saying that she and the other trainees never got into real trouble and that most of their memories were about food. But the one that stood out the most was about something SM had them do that fans found terrifying. She explained that the company apparently thought some trainees were too short, so they were sent to a spine clinic that was supposed to help them grow taller. She didn't focus too much on what happened there, instead recalling how they once ordered food while at the clinic and still ended up getting caught. For fans who had followed her since debut, the story seemed to connect a few pieces together. Yeri had already shared in the past that she dealt with herniated discs and ongoing back pain, so many began to wonder if her visits to the spine clinic were linked to those issues. Most pointed out that she was only around 12 at the time, and the idea of her going through procedures like that at such a young age felt wrong. One fan on Twitter even remarked that sending children to spinal clinics while not letting them eat properly made no sense at all. Another fan angrily wrote, "And now she has 2 herniated discs? Coincidence? You should never touch the spine without a real medical issue." Learning about what the company put her through as a child helped many people understand why she chose to leave in the first place. Toward the end of the interview, Yeri looked back on her 11 years in the industry and opened up about the struggles she faced. She used to get caught up in worries about why work wasn't coming her way or why she felt like she was falling behind compared to others. Those thoughts would consume her, but over time, she learned to let go of that mindset. Now she's focusing on what truly matters, spending quality time with her family, and taking care of personal needs she missed out on by leaving home so young. Having finally found that clarity, she feels those old worries were just wasted energy. Fans were glad to see her finally getting a chance to slow down, enjoy life, and still build her career at the same time. It was also in these recent interviews that Yeri's departure was officially explained as her wanting to put all her energy into acting. She shared that she hoped to take on more roles, learn through real on-set experiences, and be part of many different projects to grow as an actress. In another interview, Yeri shared what it was like shifting from idol life to acting. She explained that being an idol was hectic, with her schedule constantly moving her between the countryside and overseas, so she wanted to pursue acting where she could focus more. Once she started, she found it really enjoyable because it let her show a range of emotions that singing didn't allow. Yeri also opened up about Red Velvet's future on August 5th during a candid talk at Blitzway Entertainment. She focused on her character, Beck Jenna, in and Rich 2, and when asked how her fellow members reacted to her role, she shared that they really liked it. Some even sent her messages to show their support. Yeri thought maybe they hadn't seen the entire series, but they still expressed how much they enjoyed her performance. She also emphasized that even though 2 members are now signed with different agencies, their connection remains strong and their bond hasn't faded despite the changes. Yeri shared, "We've had a lot of conversations as a group about our goals and the direction each of us wants to take. I think the spirit of mutual support has naturally formed between us." Yeri explained that while there aren't any definite plans for Red Velvet to promote as a group right now, she would definitely be open to it if their schedules line up. She expressed a genuine hope to perform together again and release new music when the timing feels right. Then she went on to talk about her experience with her new agency, Blitzway. She praised the staff for being extremely detail-focused, more so than she is herself, and said they take great care of her. She mentioned that whenever she forgets something, the team is always quick to catch it, which helped her settle in smoothly and adjust to the new environment much faster. Even though the members are now signed to different companies, and fans believe that group activities will be rare if they happen at all, there's still a sense of relief and happiness among fans. They're glad to see that each member feels comfortable where they are, thriving in their own careers. After so many years, fans take comfort in knowing the girls are genuinely happy and satisfied with the paths they're on, which is what really matters in the end.